Good morning, fight fans. It is Tuesday, June 17th. Let's get into some MMA and UFC news. Ben Askren was able to open his eyes and squeeze hands and is now showing responsiveness in the hospital in Wisconsin. He is still expected to need a lung transplant. Say some prayers for Ben. Let's get into some news. Henry Cejudo had this to say about Kamaru Usman and a title shot. If they gave Volk a title shot, then Usman deserves a title shot. Henry Cejudo is basically saying, why not give Usman a title shot? What do you guys think? Can you compare Volk, 2 KO losses, title shot, to Usman's situation? Drop a comment. Tell me what you think. Javier Mendez said this yesterday about his fighter, Islam Makhachev. I am anticipating we'll see Islam maybe another 3 fights. If Islam moves up and fights JDM, there's 1. Maybe a title defense at 170, and then 1 more. So you're looking at maybe less than 3 years left, and Islam Makhachev is done. He's going to retire. Khabib retired at age 32. I believe Islam, let's check his age real quick. I believe Islam is 31, 32. Let's check real quick. Khabib retired 29-0 at age 32. Let's see what we got for Islam's age. He was born October 27th, 1991, and he is 33 years old. He's actually older than when Khabib retired. Yeah, I remember when Khabib retired, man. Wow. Just got done finishing Gaethje. His father passed away. Man. Oh, real quick, a correction from yesterday's video when I was going through Khalil and Jamahal Hill. I said Jamahal Hill versus Pereira was 4 rounds, blah, blah, blah. I was actually talking about Khalil. Jamahal Hill fought Alex Pereira, and I believe it was a first round knockout, which Hill, said was a mess up by the referee, blah, blah, blah. So just a correction from yesterday's video. I wanted to do that because I watched the videos last night and I saw I made a mistake. I always want to be accurate, guys. Always. If I make a mistake, let me know. I'll fix it. We're all human. Dana White had this to say about Dustin Poirier and UFC 318's location in New Orleans. To be honest, this is for him. He wanted to have his last fight and end his career in New Orleans. So here we are. That's Uncle Dana. It's a solid move, Dana. Yesterday, Umar had a few things to say, or over the weekend had a few things to say about his loss to Merab. Here's one of the quick quotes from it. I fought like a man, I lost, and that's that. He's moved on, he's not chasing Merab no longer. But, realistically, there's nobody else to chase, right? Joaquin Buckley fired back at Israel Adesanya. Izzy did a UFC Atlanta video where he watched the main event and he kept saying, I hate this N, I hate this N, I can't stand Buckley, blah, blah, blah. I can't say the N-word. So you know what the N-word is. And here's what Buckley had to say. I'll show you the picture real quick. I'll read you the quote. Hate the farmer that took your belt, N-I-G-G-A, not me. You got that? Hate the farmer that took your belt, N-I-G-G-A, not me. That's Buckley to Izzy. This was some of the stuff we caught on Twitter yesterday, and I believe the next comment from Buckley was, someone said, why don't you move up to middleweight and fight Izzy? And he says, I believe he said, not a bad idea. Is Buckley going back up to middleweight to fight the last style bender? Wow. I don't know how that would work out for Izzy, the wrestling man. So Izzy would have to catch him from the outside. I don't think I'd want to see Izzy versus Buckley. I don't think I'd want to see that. And this is some interesting news. Not as interesting as, some would say, but Justin Gaethje was probably not happy about this news. I'm going to read to you right now. Arman Tsarukyan to serve as backup for title fight between Ilia Topuria and Charles Oliveira at UFC 317 in under 2 weeks. Does that mean Arman gets winner? What do you guys think? Drop a comment. Here's what Sean O'Malley had to say after his his big loss, UFC 316, to Merab. For me, to earn another title shot at Merab, I've got to be undeniable. I have to go on a streak. Here's a question for you guys today. How many wins, how many proper wins, how many KOs, finishes does Sean O'Malley have to get in order to get another bantamweight title shot? Drop a comment. I'd say 3 or 4. What do you guys think? Here's another one from Sean O'Malley. Sean O'Malley says he already has an opponent, date, locked in, ready to go. Announcement coming soon. Who do you think that opponent is, fight fans? Drop a comment. Here's something from Patty yesterday. He was sitting down with Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall was eating a salad. Patty was eating looked like a delicious sundae ice cream, beautiful dessert. And it looked like Tom was eating a salad with some chicken on it. It was kind of funny. And this is what Patty had to say. I know how to beat Ilia Topuria. I'd properly hurt him. Patty says he knows what to do or what techniques, or already has his game plan to finish Ilia and embarrass him at 155. Patty is a much larger man at lightweight. And in general, do a side-by-side of Patty now and Ilia now, and you'll see the difference. This type of fight, for me, it'd be great. I mean, because you got the young guys coming up, and this fight would be amazing. I would probably lean towards Patty, but I'd have to make a better decision on that after I see Ilia fight one time at 155. But if I put money on it right now, I'd put my money on Patty right now. But I'd really want to do a little more research. So let me see some tape. Let me see, Ilia versus a bigger man and Charles Oliveira, and we'll see that in less than 2 weeks. International Fight Week, UFC 317, Las Vegas, Nevada. Can't wait for that card. All right, let's get back into it here. Where were we? I get excited about that. Sean O'Malley had this to say about Merab, interview with Ariel Helwani. He says he knows he is capable of beating Merab, and he knows that Merab is capable of beating him. He's just going to keep training. He's going to stay at 135 pounds. He's not going to move up in weight class. So hold on. We're going to see a run from Sugar Shane O'Malley. I've got a good quote I want to get to next. Oh, here it is. Yep. Sean O'Malley. I've got my notes here. Trying to stay nice and organized for you guys. There's a lot going on. Sean O'Malley said this about Cody No Love Garbrandt. Cody lost last weekend, UFC Atlanta. Decision, 29-28 times 3. And he had some flashes of looking good, and third round he didn't look great. He lost. I believe he's 3-8 in his last 10 or 11, so he's on a pretty bad skid. Cody said that Sean O'Malley didn't look good, looked like shit in his title fight versus Merab during fight week pressers last week. And Sean O'Malley had this to say. I saw Cody Garbrandt said I look like shit versus Merab. And here's his funny quote. That dude looks sharp. And he's talking about his new dagger in his eye tattoo. That guy looks sharp. And he laughed a little bit. That's all I'll say. So Sean, Cody, they don't like each other. We already knew that. We already knew that. Just making sure I got everything right. I got a couple more things. Yesterday, Tom Aspinall jokingly said, I'm training for Volkov in Almeida this week. Rodolfo Bellato, I was supposed to cover this yesterday. I missed it, but I'll cover it today. Here's what he had to say. I didn't expect to get kicked in the face illegally. He totally disagrees with everybody's. I flopped, biggest flop of the year. I said he got knocked out. That's Rodolfo Bellato. Yesterday, Jose Aldo was officially removed from the UFC roster. He retired a couple weeks ago. Big shout out to that man. He put on some wars for us. Let's see what else we got here. I got most of it covered. Khalil Rountree says that he sent money to Alex Pereira if Alex Pereira can come out to Baku and corner him, or be a part of his fight, his team, for his big matchup with Jamahal Hill this weekend. Would you like to see Alex Pereira in Khalil Rountree's corner versus Jamahal Hill? That would be exciting. That'd be fun. Okay. And that's about it, guys. That's it for fight news today. Tuesday, June 17th. Everybody have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care.